sightings! Happy Halloween! So, if you haven't guessed, this is our Halloween special. Thank you, Tiff, for joining me, not just for this episode, but for the next few episodes to come. I'm so excited that we finally managed to get Tiff back onto the podcast. So welcome back to Roll Call.
Yay!
She's probably the only person who is going to agree to do this, so I made the most of this opportunity.
Please treat us kindly in the comment sections.
And for all the people who saw us walking into this room from the toilet, no, you did not.
We did not exist up until this point.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, back to the normal intro. Welcome to another episode of Roll Call. It's Kim.
And I'm Tiff.
And we will be your hosts for this episode.
In the spirit of Halloween, we're going to share some spooky stories submitted by all our followers across different contexts and across different hospitals, just for the spirit of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one, right, we kind of grouped it to seeing or hearing things. So quite a few people sent in stuff related to this. So one person saw their colleague standing inside the isolation room with a patient when she actually wasn't around. Someone also saw their colleague at the nursing counter, but the colleague wasn't on duty that day. Then vice versa, their colleague saw her at work, but actually she was at home chilling.
Wow. It seems like a lot of doppelgangers of nurses are out there.
Are you helping me write my reports on my off days? Because if you are, then thank you so much. And someone also heard their co-worker call their name at the counter, but actually he was in the toilet.
Maybe he was actually calling you?
Yeah, are you sure? Like, he wasn't calling for your help. What if he fell in the toilet? But you just thought that it was
a ghost. And you just ignored his pleas for help. Okay. So next category of stories are about how nurses are scolding ghosts. So I'm not sure which is scarier, nurses or ghosts?
The nurses who are not scared of ghosts.
Okay, so let's dive into the first one. So during one of the night shift, my colleagues and I were taking care of the high risk cubicle, which is a cubicle where we put all the high risk patients together so there can be someone and stand by and make sure they don't fall down. And so a dangerously ill patient, which is someone who's very weak and probably at the end of their life stage, the light switched on by itself. So this is sus because the patient is probably not capable of doing this at this point.
Based on this person, she was saying that the patient is bed-bound, the hands only very minimal movement, couldn't be moving around by themselves.
Yeah. So the colleague went to off the light. And then as she turned around, the light switched on again. And so she herself, this time, walked up and off the light. And then as she walked back to the nurse counter, the light on again. And so I think she was at her wit's end already. And she was like, stop it, And then the light switched off.
And likewise, there was someone who at 3 a.m. was trying to troubleshoot like our medicine pumps, the one that like help to infuse and give patients IV medication. And the alarm kept alarming and ringing for no reason. And they said that the only solution was to shout out loud, "Hey, you stop playing, Girl, can you imagine if you were the patient and I woke up at 3 a.m. because my alarms just keep ringing, right? And my nurse is over there. And then you're just kind of like, now you're like, you wake up. And then your nurse is just standing there yelling at no one. You better stop playing. Girl, I was just so freaked out.
No thanks.
Yeah, no thank you.
Bye. Did not see any of that. But honestly, right, I've heard of a few stories and it all seems to be revolving around light switches, electrical appliances and water taps. It seems like there's a theme with ghostly activities.
Yeah. So like that's why just now Tiff and I were discussing, right? We were like, how can you be so sure that like it's a ghost and not like just like
malfunctioning appliances
stuff?
Yeah, like at which point do you like be like call the electricians?
Yeah.
Maybe after you scold and then it doesn't stop and you're like, okay, sorry, my bad. Let me call the fixer guy right now.
Fixer guy. Better fix this.
Yeah.
Okay, so another submission that we got was that on a night shift, we were surprised that one of our patients pressed the call bell when she actually usually doesn't. She was sitting on her bed, and when I attended to her, she asked, "Why are there so many people in white holding candles standing around my bed?"
That's creepy.
That is creepy.
That is so classic horror story.
But like, how are you so sure that like once again, right, like supernatural things aside, Is your patient hallucinating?
Honestly, if it was me, right, the first thing I'll be doing is a full neurological exam. Like, do you know where you are right now? What time is it? Do you know who I am? Yeah. And then I'll probably tell the doctor about this. Like, hi, sorry, doctor. The patient told me she saw people wearing white holding candles at her bedside. Can you please review patients?
Please kindly review patient.
Thank you.
And let me know if any intervention is required.
Yes, correct. So I think there's always a very, I wouldn't say fine line, but okay, there's a lot of possibilities on why things are happening the way they are. And being in healthcare, right, when you see a strange occurrence, you would need to question a lot more than a usual person.
Yeah, and do your assessments properly.
Yes, correct. Like there's a medical, like...
There's the medical aspect that is always still there.
Correct.
Like, it's just a ghost.
Yep. But honestly, that's quite scary.
That's kind of freaky.
Okay. And on that, there's another nurse who shared with us that she's a peri-operative nurse, so they work in operation theatre. And on a Sunday night shift, she had to go to the basement to get some equipment for an emergency operation. And it was pitch black. Nobody was around. She turned on the light in the storeroom to find the equipment. And then she saw or she heard that in the adjacent...
Sorry, I can't take you seriously in this chili party uniform. Please include this in the podcast, but it's just so funny, like, hearing her tell these, like, creepy stories in the outfit. Okay, because sorry, continue.
Okay, so anyhow, it was pitch black. And then she heard in the next room that there were some flashing lights and laughings. Yeah, but then she called out. She thought it was a colleague, so she called out, and then there was no reply. So she went into that room, turned on the light to check it out, and there was no one there.
It was empty. Then she said shortly after that, she left very quickly.
Honestly, the good point to leave was when no one replied you.
Yeah, like you are the kind of person, right, that in horror movies, you know, like when you watch those horror movies, then they're like, oh my gosh, like, things look so suspicious. I'm gonna go into that room right now. Like, you are that main character that everyone's like shouting at, like when they're watching the TV, like, stop, oh my gosh, why are you doing that? Girl, it's you.
Yes, okay, but props to you. You're a very brave individual.
Very brave.
Okay.
The next one is, a patient asked me which nurse was combing her hair in the toilet just now. I'm assuming that there wasn't a nurse in the room and the patient was actually in a single room.
Creepy, very creepy.
Yeah. Okay, but then again, I would do an assessment. Like, you know, for certain patients, they will like have those like sensations, those kind of feelings like, oh, I have ants crawling around or whatever. My first thought, like, if I go in there and someone tells me that, right, will be like, oh, like, is she having some kind of like, is she kind of...
Is there a medical issue?
Yeah.
I think ghosts will be one concern, but another concern will be like, rule out medical condition first.
Rule out something.
Yes, to rule out medical condition first before we reach into the condition.
Before we blame the ghost.
Okay, but ghost, long hair combing, freaky. Very freaky.
Yeah, very freaky.
Okay, and the next one is when this nurse have two different patients in the same cubicle who told her about the same issue, where they say that there's a little girl and little boy playing with the toy train very loudly and they can't sleep.
I've heard a similar story like this before. I think this one is mostly to do with like hearing stuff. So I've heard that there's this place that, you know, the turnover is quite fast because they take a lot of like pretty ill patients. So when a new patient came into the room, obviously they don't know what happened to the patient before. And just so happened that in that room, the patient before had passed away. The patient before used to play, like, you know, like those tiny portable radios. So some patients, you know, like for like religious purposes and all that, they will play like certain music or certain chants. Or there's just like some sounds that are very characteristic to like specific patients. Like, you know, this patient likes to listen to this kind of music. So it's very, you know, like, you know, and you link it to that patient. So a new patient came in, and then at night, they rang the call bell and they told the nurse that, like, I keep hearing this sound. So take it for example, in this case, like, I keep hearing this particular like chant or this particular song that is very, you know, that it was like from the previous patient. But obviously this patient didn't know about the case before them. So quite common also, like patients hearing things.
Interesting. Okay, but creepy. And honestly, I'll just like, maybe I'll just offer to stay with you.
Yeah.
To keep you company. Maybe provide some earplugs.
Play you with my tunes.
Yeah. Just to keep you comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes certain occurrences, there's no way of explaining. As much as we try to rationalize it and rule out certain things.
The only thing we can do is just to be there for you, man.
Yeah.
And just be kind of spooked out with you, but it's okay.
Yep. With you. Okay, so the next one is at 3 a.m. A mortuary staff came to collect the body. So the thing is that when someone passes away in your ward, you will call the mortuary and then they'll make their way up to collect the body away. But then the thing is that this ward that the mortuary staff turned up in, they didn't have any sick patient at all. And so they were very puzzled. And the mortuary staff was insisting that someone indeed called them to come here. And so when they checked the mortuary staff phone and they tracked the number, it was a number from a clinic. But no clinic will be open at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah. That's spooky.
It's very spooky.
It's spooky. And it involves so many people.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, but I always wonder, would you try to call the number back and be like, maybe it's just like a wrong extension or something?
Okay, I keep on saying that, these people who are telling the stories, the things that you do, I'll be the one, I'll be like, oh my gosh, why are you doing that? But honestly speaking, I feel like in this situation, I'll keep trying to call the number, but probably not by myself. I think I would force my other colleagues to come in, come, then we call, then we put on loudspeaker in case. But if you hear anything, then how? GG.
I'm
like,
oh,
sorry. But just to make sure, because you never know, right? What if it's someone trapped in the clinic that needs help?
And they will call the mortuary number.
Oh, man.
That's spooky. Okay, but maybe it's just a raw extension. Then they were meant to go to a different ward.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll be worried about. Maybe these people are needed somewhere else. Okay, but still spooky. Still never learn. Okay, and I think that is the last of our submission. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in all your spooky experiences.
I was reading this by myself and vetting through the which stories to tell. I can tell you, I was a bit creeped out by myself. But I asked for it, so it's okay. Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, so we hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoy sharing it with you. And honestly, right, as much as hospitals are full of these spooky tales, lights switching on and off by themselves, strange sounds, but be assured that the only spirits in this hall are your dedicated nurses and doctors and allied health professionals who will care for you. And all we care about is your well-being at the risk of investigating dark rooms, calling strange number by ourselves at night.
Yeah. I can't imagine if I was on night shift by myself or something, right? Then one of my aunties like, no, there's a patient telling that. What do I do?
So
I was telling that. Oh.
And I just tell her there's no one there. I mean, after the whole raw medical stuff, I was sure it's okay, go to sleep. Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Sure.
And meanwhile, I'll be like.
But yeah, really respect, to you guys for being so brave. And yeah, if there's any horror stories that we've not covered or anything that's new and creepier, feel free to comment.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, let us read it.
We'll make sure to read it in the morning.
Yeah, together.
Yes.
Over a Zoom call. That's all for our horror stories, but that's not all for this episode. If you follow us on Instagram, you would have known that we recently reached our 10,000 follower mark. Thank you all so much for all your love and support. And we also held a 10,000K milestone giveaway in collaboration with Ample Life. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring our giveaway. So our winners, we will be picking 3 from this pumpkin. 3 winners who will be able to choose from 3 different complimentary treatments: facial, massage, bust treatment.
Yep.
Slay. Whichever one you want.
She will be doing the honor.
Yes. Oh, before I choose, just a disclaimer, we already made it clear that this giveaway is only sadly for TTSH nurses. So if we pick your name and you can't show me your staff pass, we will have to choose somebody else. And for everyone who is, of course, not a TTSH nurse, why don't you become one, and then you can join giveaways like these. But of course, at the same time, also stay tuned for more fun giveaways. Then hopefully we can open up to more people as well.
Yeah, so make sure you follow their Instagram. Every milestone, there's a chance you win something.
Okay. How about, since you are joining me on this episode, you choose the first one.
All right. Okay. Let's do it. I have here Burn Soul.
Can I see?
Yes.
Burn Xiao.
Sorry.
Girl.
Burn Xiao.
Congratulations. All right. Okay, now let's choose the second winner. Okay. Alright, let's see who's our second lucky winner. Oh my gosh! Like, I was doing this for fun just now, and I chose her name. Our second winner is @girl_Jen.
@girl_Jen.
Congrats!
Girl.
Okay, Tiff, you choose the last one.
Alright. Let's do it. And the last one, will you help me announce it?
Oh my gosh, she also follows me on Instagram. Congratulations, girl. Rainbow Sky!
Congrats! Alright. Congratulations to our 3 winner. The rest of you, don't worry, there'll be more giveaways to come.
Just look at your DMs. I will be messaging all of you really, really soon on how to follow up after this. Sadly, with that, we have come to the end of this episode of Roll Call. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to listen to the audio version of this episode, feel free to search us on Spotify, Roll Call, or Nurses of TTSH.
Do give our channel a follow, hit the bell button to get notified when we drop a new episode.
And also remember to comment down below your spooky stories or any other topics that you would like to hear in the future.
Yep, and we'll catch you the next roll call. Have a great shift. Bye.